Welcome to your practice, guys. Today we are going to do a quick little sciatic nerve release. Most of us, including me, sometimes get some tightness in the sciatic nerve, and it's this big nerve. It goes all the way through, like through your butt, all the way down the back of your leg and ends underneath your foot. And normally we can feel it up here, maybe even into the lower back. And today I'm going to share with you exactly what I do to release it, and it works like a charm. So I don't consider my sciatic a problem because I know what to do with it. I know what to move and what to press. So you're going to need a ball. I have a peanut ball. It doesn't have to be a peanut ball. So if you have like a little hard ball, it can be like meant for exercise. It can be a baseball or lacrosse ball or something like that. And even a tennis ball, actually. A tennis ball will still do the job, but I highly recommend getting a peanut ball. This is a non-sponsored post, by the way, although they should sponsor me. A really hard peanut ball. You can see it's kind of shaped like a peanut. It's two little hard balls that just stuck together. It should exist in every home as far as I'm concerned. But grab your ball of any or balls and come back to your mat. So we're going to start on all four. And just start moving into some cat-cow movements. You're going to go with your own breath here. So as you exhale, you round the spine, the belly button move towards the front of the spine. Inhale. Open up, fill your lungs. And you can add little movements here. So maybe some side movements feels good. You often feel anything that kind of starts stretching that outer hip feels nice. And you're breathing through your nose. And then come to a neutral spine. Lift your left leg out to the side like a dog peeing up against a fire hydrant. And then circle. And I want this circle to be slow and big. So what I often see, like when I instruct to do this, is like, no. Slow, big circle. So you really start getting into the hips. And change direction. And set the leg down, come over to the other side. Same thing, big, slow circles. And change direction. And come to center. Take another couple of little cat-cow movements. And then move your butt to your heels, come into a child's pose. And if it feels good to just gently move from side to side. Get a bit of release. And then come back up onto all fours. Step your right foot forward. Both of your hands on the inside of that right foot. And you might want to wiggle that back knee back. Come into a lizard pose. And I want you to open up the knee to the side. And that means when you do that, we want the toes to follow the knee. So you're going to roll onto the knife edge of your foot. And then you can sink into your hips. Feel free to move. Maybe even open your torso a bit. There's so much room for exploration here. I think our body is really good at telling us what we need. So what feels necessary, and I think it's more like necessary than what feels good, because it's kind of a good feeling, but you're also like, ooh. So let your body tell you where you need to take the movement. And then straighten that front leg. Flex the foot, lengthen the spine. If you've got tight hamstrings, you can always put a little bend in your knee. And then start pointing and flexing the foot. We're just adding a little bit of movement to the sciatic nerve here. Because the sciatic nerve ends underneath your foot, when we point and flex the foot, we're actually moving the sciatic nerve. And the sciatic nerve likes to be moved. It's really good for it. It loosens it up. And bend the knee again. You're going to step back onto all four. And other side. So step your left foot forward. You're going to come into that lizard pose. And again, going to roll onto the knife edge of that left foot. Open the knee to the side. And add some movement. So often if we have sciatic issues, it starts spreading down into that leg, and it can spread into the side, the outer hip, the hip flexor even. Sometimes you can start feeling muscular tightness, which is why this feels good. And it's simply from your body compensating. Remember, if you get nerve issues and your nerves hurt when you do things, you automatically start compensating and tightening up your muscles in different directions to avoid the pain, and that creates even more tightness and pain. And we're just addressing that too. And straighten the front leg, come into that half split. And again, you're going to start pointing and flexing the foot, get that sciatic nerve moving. And bend the knee. Step your leg back and make your way into seated. And this is when we're going to need the ball. You're going to take your ball. You're going to take it to your butt cheek. And you're going to play by ear where you want that ball to be. So you're just going to kind of roll onto it, and you're going to roll around until you find a spot that's like, oh, okay. Also known as ow. So when you found your ow spot, I want you to stay here. You're going to feel the release. And you can see I got this knee bent, open to the side. And what I'm going to start doing, I'm going to start moving it. So when we add movement to myofacial release, we really get so much more for our money. So just gently open and close the leg. And this can be really intense, by the way. So go with it. You're going to be okay. Breathe. And next time you open, I want you to straighten the leg and bend. Straighten and bend. And again, this might be really intense, but trust me, it's going to be such a nice release. Next time you bend, can you cross the ankle over your left thigh? So you're coming to a figure 4. And then simply just gently move from side to side. Again, I say gently, like it's just like, oh, it's a little walk in the park. And no, this can be really intense. And if you feel released, you can always move the ball a bit where you're like, oh, I need to find another spot here. Ooh. Most of us have a few spots in this area that are like, oh. Oh, this is good. Roll back up. Shake it out. And when you get off the ball, I mean, almost immediately you can feel like, okay, nice. A little bit of release right there. You're going to come over to the other side. And again, you're going to put the ball there. It doesn't have to be the same spot. So again, I want you to just move the ball around and find that spot for you that needs some love. And you got that left knee bent. You're just going to start out with opening and closing the leg to the side. And then straighten and bend. Maybe you move the ball a little bit. If you feel some release, like this is actually okay, then find a spot where it's not okay. Few more. Cross the ankle over the thigh, come into your figure 4, and again, just going to be moving. Maybe move the ball. Ooh. Always find one spot or several spots that are like, ah. A little bit more. And if you feel like you need to stay a little bit longer on one side, I mean, feel free to just pause the video, the recording, and just like, okay, I'm going to take an extra 5 minutes on this side because it needs it. It's all good. And come on up. Release. Ooh. Shake it out. And then take your right leg, cross the ankle over the thigh. So you're coming into a seated figure 4. And you can stay right here or move into a forward fold. So you're kind of in a almost half lotus. Not quite. You're not pressuring your body into a depth of this pose that it's not ready for. You're feeling sensation in that kind of right hip. And come up, set that right foot to the outside of your left foot. And I want you to bend, like lean over onto your left butt cheek, bend that left knee. So you end up sitting like this. And then reach your right arm up, place the fingertips down on the mat behind you. So you're sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, twist. Still sitting up nice and tall. So make sure you're not collapsing your spine and curling in. Reach through the crown of your head. Come back to center. And then see if you can come into a cow face pose. And that means stacking the knees. That might not be succeeding completely in this. You can also be right here. It's okay. So make the pose work for you. We're aiming to stack the knees over each other and have the feet coming out to the side. If that's too intense for you, so be it. Always go with what your body is ready to give you instead of forcing it. And maybe, if you have the space, come into a forward fold. And come back up. Unfurl your legs. Shake it out. And then cross your left ankle over your thigh. Come into that figure four. And fold. Remember, your version of fold. You might be up here. You might be all the way down. Whatever's working for you. And come back up. And then move that foot to the outside. Lean over onto the right butt cheek. Bend the right knee. Come back up to seated. Lift your left arm up. Get some length in your body. Place your fingertips behind you. And exhale. Twist. Again, remember that long spine. Looking over your left shoulder. Come back to center. And you're going to come into cow face. Again, your version. It might be different on this side. Stacking your knees. Maybe coming into a forward fold. And come back up. Unfurl your legs. And again, maybe just shake it out. And we're going to come down onto our backs. We're going to take the ball again. And I want you to put the ball and start on one side. Remember, you've got like a hip bone right here, kind of like the back of your hip. You can feel that goes up here. So I want it to be just above that. Your spine is right here. So on the inside of your spine, it's not touching the spine, just above kind of the back of your hip here. This is where you're going to put your ball. So you're going to come lying down, knees bent, feet flat on the ground. Lift up, place your ball. And then I want you to just gently open the leg where you got the ball to the side and back up. To the side and back up. Side and up. Take a few more. And lift up, move it over to the other side. Same thing, you're just going to open and close that leg. And release. Put the ball to the side, lower your sacrum down on the mat. And then I want you to cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Take your arms out to the sides and then just move both of your legs over to the right. Come into a little twist. So your right ankle is to the outside of your left thigh. And relax. And come back to center. And move over to the other side. Cross that left ankle over the right thigh. And then move both of your legs over to the left. Twist. And come back to center. And find your Shavasana. Lie flat down. It's also an option to bend your knees and let your knees fall together if that feels better for you. And close your eyes and relax your body. And stay as long as you need. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.